Imagine waking up one morning to find your private NRIC number, the same one you've guarded for years, freely accessible online, no login, no payment. That's exactly what happened recently in Singapore when ACRA's revamped Bizfile platform briefly allowed unrestricted access to full NRIC numbers linked to businesses. But the real shocker. Former Temasek CEO Ching says NRIC numbers aren't really private at all, calling them nothing more than digital names. Does this shift signal a major change in how personal data will be treated in Singapore? And could it put us at risk of scams and identity theft? Stay tuned as we dive into this controversy and what it means for all of us. This all began when ACRA's new Bizfile system launched on December 9, 2024. Initially, users could freely access full NRIC numbers, no login required. The backlash was immediate and severe, with critics pointing out the obvious risks of identity theft and fraud. Public outrage grew even louder when former journalist Bertha Henson exposed the issue in a viral post on December 12. Just 2 days later, ACRA apologized and suspended the feature. But here's where it gets interesting. Ching, a key figure in Singapore, stepped in with a bold stance that NRICs should not be treated as secrets at all. In a Facebook post, Ching likened NRICs to digital names, unique identifiers that shouldn't require masking. Instead, she placed the onus on personal responsibility and better digital hygiene. She urged people never to use NRICs as passwords or IDs, comparing it to using one's name as a password, easy to guess and completely insecure. So, what do you think? Does this make sense, or does it miss the point? Now, here's the twist. While Ching and even government agencies argue that NRIC masking creates a false sense of security, critics say this downplays the risks. Remember the man in 2020 who stole NRICs to redeem over 200 face masks? Or the recent cases where exposed NRIC numbers led to SingPass accounts being locked out? If NRICs were never meant to be secret, why have they been protected so rigorously in Singapore for years? The Ministry of Digital Development and Information, or MDDI, claims the move to unmask NRICs aligns with a broader government effort to reduce reliance on masked identifiers. But if that's the case, why did ACRA backpedal so quickly? It raises a critical question. Are Singaporeans being gaslighted into believing that NRICs were never private, or is this a genuine shift in data privacy strategy? This debate is far from over. Moving forward, the government plans to roll out a public education campaign to address misconceptions about NRIC use. Meanwhile, the Personal Data Protection Commission continues to advise against using NRIC numbers for authentication purposes, instead recommending multi-factor authentication or biometrics. But what do you think? Should NRICs remain masked to protect against scams, or is this false security argument valid? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Singapore's biggest privacy debate, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to 2230 for more detailed news coverage. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a story that matters. See you next time, and stay secure online.